Scuderia Ferrari Edition, the heart of the race.
Hello and welcome to round number 4 of the Formula SimRacing Academy Championship. Today from the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. And the drivers are already out for some qualifying laps. But after an interesting race last time out with a red flag, we had a slightly mixed up result. So I'm sure we're going to get a rather exciting race again today, as we did last time out as well. Today we got a race of 42 laps where the drivers will have the ultra soft, the super soft and the soft compound to contend with, so it'll be a little bit harder to do a one-stop strategy as we saw in the previous races so far this season. We've got a 4.6 kilometer track today with 3 DRS zones. There should be plenty of overtaking as well, as there's a lot of straights here. Some teams will be going for some more low downforce setup, and some will be going for a bit higher downforce to be quicker in the corners. But as we'll see on the back straight, they will lose a lot of top speed. So I'm your commentator, Cameron Rodger, and today I'm joined with Felix van Delft.
Hi Cameron, how are you?
I am very good. I'm very good. I'm looking forward to this track. It's one of the best on the calendar, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good track to race at least from a driver's perspective. Hopefully from a viewer's perspective it will be as well. Long straight, 3 DRS zones like you said earlier. And with these cars, 933 horsepower, top speed of 370 kilometers an hour. I think some of these cars will get close to that, maybe in some slipstream around this track. Anyway, let's dive into that qualifying session, as these drivers have already done their first run so far, and let's see who is actually on top of the sheet then.
And Michael Wilson was actually our top pre-qualifier as well. So for the Academy, because there are so many sign-ups, we have pre-qualifying, and the top 30 drivers get into the race, but the top 15 in the championship get an automatic entry. So in pre-qualifying, it's generally about the top 15 that have to get through to make up the grid, and Michael Wilson was the fastest. And he's actually gone slightly faster than his pre-qualifying time as well. So the Ghost Speed driver definitely looking on form today.
Yeah, he is definitely, and in the championship standings, he is right now not actually not that prominent to say. He hasn't done very well the last few races. DNF in the first race, P19 in the second race, and P7 last race around in Azerbaijan. But I'm sure he'll be looking to get some good points here at Canada.
Yeah, and his teammate Jackson Went, who got pole position back in China, is getting a bit of slipstream from someone else to the line. And yes, he goes for pole position. I saw he did a couple of good sectors, and he goes pole 1:10.2, just ahead of his teammate Michael. So Ghost Speed seemingly are the team to beat so far this session.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's see Kaz Rietveld. He has just finished the first sector. Let's go on board with him for the second sector, the iSim RS Racing car. Here you can see how difficult it is to keep this car in a straight line in qualifying trim. The exits are very important here at Canada, and with the amount of power that's beneath the rear wheels of these cars, it's very difficult to keep them straight. Here we see Kaz getting a bit of a slipstream from his teammate in front of him. Let's see if it helps him enough, or if he will get in the way. No, he gets out of the way nicely for the last corner. Over the curbs, hard over the curbs. Just manages to keep it out of the Wall of Champions. Opens the rest to go to the line. And that is a 1:10.5, not a improvement for Kaz Rietveld, but a purple last sector. So promising last sector there for the ICMRS driver.
Yeah, and Callum Roberts down in P5 has done a purple sector 1. He's just coming into sector 2, and he's basically done a personal best sector 2, and he's also getting slipstream as well down this back straight. So this is something we saw last time out in Baku, and it seems lots of drivers trying it here as well. Is kilometre long back straight, so plenty of time to be gained. And can Callum Roberts get himself further up? It's been a very good start to the season for the Royal Blue Racing drivers. They are currently leading the Constructors' Championship, and where can he put himself today? He goes up to P2, just off Jackson Went, and with that purple sector 1 and a slipstream, that helped him out as well. So that's good from him so far. He's got 1 lap left out of his 4.
Yeah, Thomas Wach, the other iSim RS Racing driver, now down the second sector. Not the best second sector, but reasonably good compared to the Royal Blue guys. Perhaps a bit of a setup difference between the iSim RS and the Royal Blue guys, as Thomas Wach comes to the line to finish his lap. Does not improve his time and not his position then as well, obviously. Jackson Vent went out for his out lap, will be going for a hot lap pretty soon. And his teammate Michael Wilson also in the same boat as him.
Yeah, Thomas Wach, this is actually his first race for the ICMRS team. He moved there. I think it was only yesterday, actually. He moved. He entered as his own team, basically as an independent. He had a good race out in Australia, first race of the season, but didn't do too well the last couple of races. However, he's now found himself a good seat in a good team, because the ICMRS team is basically the junior team of the Abdichronic Racing team, who are currently leading drivers and constructors in the World Championship. They obviously have access to all those resources, and we should see him get some nice results in this team now, and he's already in P4 in his first qualifying session. Down P21 we got Gerard Batella for the TCS Off Racing, and they got a nice custom livery for this race. They are a Canadian team. They are running a special Canadian style livery with the white and the red there for this race. And he's done a couple of personal bests, so where can he get himself? He goes up to P20, so only 1 place improvement, but a nice livery at least for him.
Yeah, definitely nice livery there for the TCS Off Racing guys. Michael Wilson, he is on a hot lap, but not a very good sector 1 and 2 for him, so surely this lap is not going to be an improvement for him unless he can find a lot of time in this last sector. But compared to his teammate Jackson, Bent already lost 3/10 in the first 2 sectors. Now let's see, last corner can give you quite a lot of time if you get it absolutely perfect over those curbs. Coming to the line, the 1:10.4, so not an improvement for him, but a purple last sector. So like I said, the last sector can gain you quite a bit of time, but it wasn't enough for him as he lost too much time in the first 2 sectors. Thomas Wach, he is on a good first sector, 19.5. It's quicker than Jackson Went, actually. Now second sector, 23.0, also quicker than Jackson Went. So this might be a pole position contender here. Thomas Wach, first race for ISIMRS Racing. If he gets pole position in that first race, would be a very, very good achievement for him. Let's see what he does in that final corner. Hard over the curbs, keeps it out of the wall. To the line he comes. What is it going to be? It is a 1 minute 10.096. Over a tenth quicker than Jackson went so far. And provisional pole position for Thomas Waag.
Yeah, he didn't actually get a purple sector. So there's still some time left to be gained on this track. Obviously it rubbers in. And you'll see the racing line get a little bit darker as the session and then as we move to warm up and race, it'll get a lot darker, and the grip will be increased quite a lot. As they come into the session, I'm sure we'll see some quick lap times coming in, as most drivers are coming onto their final laps now, which is actually quite interesting because there's still 5 minutes left. But obviously, with it being a shorter track, it takes less time to complete your laps. But each driver does have a total of 4 runs, effectively, 12 laps. So out lap, fast lap, in lap 4 times in the 20-minute session. And up to P6 is Vladimir Pavlov, who's been a bit quiet so far this session, but he is currently second in the championship. He won last time out quite comprehensively. He was definitely the fastest guy back then. And he's up to P6. And coming out the final corner as well is Noah Rivers, who had a good race, but unfortunately because of the red flag he only got P3 and not P2 last time out. Due to the pit stops, and he's up to P7 as well. And another driver finishing their lap is Jan Wozka for flag to flag coming out the final corner. He's been a little bit disappointing this season, but he definitely has some pace in the race if he can show that. And where does he go up to? He goes up to P7, so that's a bit more like it, but still some 4/10 off provisional pole for Thomas Waag at the moment.
Yeah, like you said, Vladislav Pavlov, he had an amazing, dominant race last time around in Azerbaijan. So far, not really showing as much pace as he had here in Canada. Even though this track is somewhat similar, a bit of a stop-and-go track, if you want to say it like that. 90-degree corners, long straights. But it seems that so far he hasn't really found his rhythm to make this track work for him as well. As Cas Rietveld just started his lap. I think it is his final attempt as well. Yes, it is. So let's see what he's able to do. Championship leader, of course, Cas Rietveld. First sector. Personal best in the first sector, but still about a tenth of Thomas Waag and Jackson Wendt. So still time to find for Rietveld in that first sector. Now the second sector. Let's see what he does there. Coming to the hairpin, turn 10. 23.19. That's not a very good second sector, and he needs a very good last sector if he wants to gain any positions here. Now DRS opens as his teammate gives him some slipstream. A bit too early, I guess, but still gives him a bit of time. Last corner, over the curbs. Left a bit of space on the outside to the wall of champions. Let's see what he's able to do. Coming to the line. Improves to P3 or 1 minute 10.2. So indeed a very good last sector. 27.4 purple. And that puts him in P3 for now. And also Thomas Waag finished his session. So he won't be able to defend for his pole position. Jackson Wendt still has 1 attempt left as far as I know. So he'll be going out very soon, I guess.
Yeah, that lap from Jan Wozka that I finished a couple of minutes ago, he was actually on the super soft tyres, and he's in P number 7.
Oh,
so
wow.
if that is correct, which I tried to check and I think it is, then he is obviously on the middle compound tyre, which will put him in a very good place for the strategy. Although he's now going out on the ultra softs, so maybe he wants to get a little bit higher on the grid. But if he can keep P7 with those super softs, then that will be a really good place to start, because obviously the top 10 are locked into their tyres from qualifying. So if he starts on the super soft, he will be 1 step harder than everyone around him, which will give him good strategy gains and be way ahead of everyone outside of the top 10 who can choose those tyres as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a great strategy to have the harder compounds at the start of the race, obviously because your car is heavier then. And then you have the faster compounds at the end of the race, where you can push more and have more pace. So strategy-wise, if you can complete that, or can finish this qualifying session in 7th there with the super soft tire, definitely will be able to perhaps challenge for maybe even a podium in this race if everything falls in the right place for him. As Callum Roberts here is finishing his lap, coming to the line. Not the best couple of sectors, but might be able to improve himself. Does not improve as Vladislav Pavlov just went purple in the 2nd sector. His teammate, also Royal Blue Racing of course, as he comes to the last corner, didn't take as much curb as some of the other drivers did earlier. Now let's see what he's able to do here. 1 minute 10.375, so puts himself up to P7, just in front of Jan Woznica, so he might not be, or he might want to do that lap on the Ultrasoft instead of the Supersoft to defend his position there. Now, Jackson Wendt, I think he's the guy to watch. He went quicker in the 1st sector, quicker in the 2nd sector. I think this is going to be very close to Thomas Waag if he's able to get a good last sector here. Doesn't have any slipstream. DRS is open, obviously. Coming out of the last corner. A bit of a wiggle. So keeps it out of the wall. Coming to the line. What is it going to be? 1 minute 10.198. A bit of an improvement, but not enough. Still a 10th of Thomas Waag. So Thomas Waag, I think, is pretty much safe for pole position now. Unless Jan Woznica or Noah Rovers are able to do anything. And Jan Woznica there, I think, made a small mistake. Keeps on going though, as he comes into the hairpin. Bit of a lock-up.
Yeah, if he did do that lap on the Supersoft, he probably shouldn't try and improve this lap, as he's actually gone slower in the 1st and 2nd sector so far, even though he's on the softer tyres. He's obviously making a couple of mistakes, but obviously if he wants to keep that strategy, then he shouldn't really finish the lap. Well, go faster anyway, because it's your fastest lap time that counts for the tyres that you start the race on. So let's see what he does as he comes to the line. No, he's slowed down. Yeah. So we'll have to see what he does at the beginning of the race, but I'm pretty sure that lap was on the super soft tyres, so he is one to look out for in P number 8. But it is Thomas Waag on pole for the Canadian Grand Prix in his 1st race for ISIMRS. And then 2nd we got Jackson Wendt, and then Cas Rietveld, Callum Roberts and Michael Wilson for your top 5 today.
Yeah, nice top 5. Good to see that. There's a bit of a mix-up with Thomas Waag there joining the top. Obviously, championship leader Cas Rietveld still in there. But let's head to a little bit of an advertisement break. We'll be back in roughly 5 minutes' time. Get ready for the race, because it's going to be a hectic one. 42 laps here around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab something to eat, and get ready for the race. We'll be back in around 5 minutes time.
Hey man, I got that new TMX Thrustmaster wheel. It's going down.
Xbox One?
I can't wait to play when I get home.
Yo, let me play.
Yeah, I play first. No.
You know, I'll race it for it.
So I have to hand it.
Now, welcome back to round number 4 of the Formula SimRacing Academy Championship, where the drivers have just finished the warm-up session and we are about to move to the race. Once again, we are here for 42 laps of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. Drivers will have 3 DRS zones today around this 4.3 kilometer circuit, so plenty of overtaking possibilities. And with a really long back straight into the final chicane out of the hairpin, I'm sure we'll see a lot of overtaking with different wings, because you can actually get away with higher wings on this track because of the nature of the first and second sector. Really use those wings in the corners, and today the drivers will have the ultra soft, the super soft and the soft compound tyres, so the 3 softest we have. So it is going to be slightly more pit stop heavy than we've seen in previous races. We've seen one stop strategies in the opening 3 races of the season, but hopefully more pit stops today. And once again I'm your commentator Cameron Rodger, and I'm joined by Felix van Delft.
Yeah, welcome everyone. I'm looking forward to this race. Canada always gives us quite a bit of action, especially with the 3rd DRS zone that's been added. I think that there will be quite a few overtakes. On strategy, it's also a track that's always a bit interesting. I'm not sure right now what drivers will be starting on what tires, but if there are just outside the top 10 a few drivers starting on the super soft instead of the ultra soft, I think they might have a good chance to get some positions gained, because the track is not that long, so the drivers that do their pit stop first will drop back quite a bit. And that gives the drivers that started on the harder tires a bit of an advantage. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. Turn 1 obviously is quite narrow, so we're gonna have to wait and see what is gonna happen there. Now let's have a look at the grid. The drivers have rolled off. Cameron, can you take us through the grid?
Yes, so we have an ISIMRS 1-2 today with Thomas Vack in pole position, his first race for that team, followed by Cas Rietveld, your championship leader. Then we have Callum Roberts in the constructors leading team, Royal Blue Racing. Then we had 2 ghost speeds of Jackson Went and Michael Wilson, P4 and 5. Then Zolt Souks, who's making his debut this year. He did some races last year, but is only joining now, round 4. Then we have Vladislav Pavlov, your winner from last time out. Jan Woznica, who is starting on these super soft tyres, so he's one to look out for in P number 8. Slightly different strategy. Then Noah Rubers got his first podium last time out. Tom Lombards, P10. Karsovic in P number 11. Ernest Lappins, P12. Tommy Yatello, P13. P14 for David Yangheluza, who I think that's his highest starting position of the season so far. Then Adam Rainey for TCS off in their nice one-off livery. Then Edward Patella, Mike Almeida, Niranjan Kumar, who got P2 last time out with a fortunate strategy with the red flag. Then Balaz Galar, Marco Furlick, who I think it is his debut today for the Grand Effect SimRacing team. Then Angel Benaez, Yuri Siravatsky, Jared Patella, Dano Brantholm, Augusto Arias, Andrei Borotowski starting from the pit lane, then Anton Skirchenko, Milan Rajkovic, Vlad Tokarev, and Indrek Remits will be also starting from the pit lane.
Yeah, 30 drivers on this narrow track. Surely this is gonna give us quite a bit of action as the last driver slots into their grid slot.
Now the lights come on as we get ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. What can Thomas Vack do from pole? And the lights are out, and we are away. And he's on the inside down to turn 1, but Cas Rietveld gets a decent start on the outside, and I think he's actually going to try and take the lead around the outside. And yes, he does. He takes the lead down into turn number 1. followed by Jackson Wendt actually getting past his teammate, and also looking at the Royal Blue racing car of Callum Roberts into the chicane of turn 3 and 4, and that is exactly what he's done. Yet Jan Wozka, good start. P number 6 on those super soft tyres, trying to get involved. Actually, he's going around the outside and onto the inside, so that might be P number 5 for Jan Wozka as well on those super soft tyres. And yes, he makes it. A bit of contact with Michael Wilson, who has not had the best start. He's down into P number 7 as we come down this back straight for the first time today. Most drivers looking like they're doing a pretty clean job so far. Though Augusto Arias has already DNF'd, but we will take a look at that in a few moments. But it is Cas Rietveld leading as we come onto this back straight for the first time, and we will see what everyone's top speeds are like as they get the slipstream. Especially if you're 3rd or 4th in line, you're going to get a massive slipstream down into this final chicane.
Yeah, good start for this field. I think a few incidents, but that's always going to happen, of course. But relatively clean start, as we see Adam Rainey doing a move onto the F1 Champs car, trying to go around the outside of the wall of the last corner. Manages to keep it out of the wall of champions, but big fight going on here for P15 in the race. Last points paying position, of course, but still lap 2 of the race. I'm pretty sure there's still quite a long way to go, so drivers might want to take it a bit easy and not crash just yet.
Yeah, so definitely the best start there was from Jan Wozka up into P number 5 on those super soft tyres. Now this is a strategy I used last year in this very race. Started on the super soft tyres and I managed to get well into the top 10 on the super soft after the end of the first stint, and it really helped the strategy. I think I started P12 and I ended up P4 in the race, so hopefully for Jan he can do a similar thing this year, as he hasn't really had a good result since the first race of the season, but he's definitely getting involved today.
I think he's looking to get closer to the car in front of him, the royal blue car of Callum Roberts. Takes a bit of a peek, decides to not make the move just yet, but the space on those super soft tyres looking very good so far.
Tom Lombards went around the outside of Pavlov into the final chicane. That is not a move you often see. Small bit of contact, but he's up into P number 8, and now Pavlov's got overtaken by Noah Rivers as well, after a fantastic performance last time out for him, but he's down in P9 for now.
David Janchualiza, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name there, but he made a bit of a mistake coming into turn 1, dropped back quite a few positions. Maybe even an issue with the car or something. Driving relatively slowly, but picking up the pace right now again, so I'm not sure what happened there, but he's dropped down to well down to P20, 26 even. Now the battle for P3, P4, P5, P6, all the way basically down to P8 is heating up here, as we are following Zot Soeks right in front of him. Jan Woznica is trying to make the move on Callum Roberts around the outside. Well done there by Jan Woznica, and moves himself up to P4. Great start of the race for the flag driver. And perhaps looking to make the move on Jackson Wendt in the next coming laps already as well.
Yeah, we obviously got DRS active now, as we have gone past the 3rd lap of the race. And we'll see how effective this 3rd DRS zone is down on the back straight. It's not the longest straight in the world, but it will certainly help you at least get a little bit closer coming down into the next part of the lap in the 3rd DRS zone on the track. There's that Roberts going over the chicane there a little bit. Won't want to do that too many times to risk a cut penalty.
Now
Let's see.
Yeah.
What they do on the back straight. As we come down into the chicane, is he going to try a similar thing? Maybe not quite yet. Though he's certainly looking like he is on the pace, even though he is on slightly harder, slightly slower tyres. The RC is really going to be helping him. Slightly behind, is that Zot Soeks? Oh no, he wasn't quite close enough to have a look.
Yeah, Wozniacka really showing the pace here on the harder compound. And remember, these tires will be, at least relative to the other shots, a bit quicker at the end of the stint. I'm guessing that will be around the next 4 laps that he's really starting to gain the time on the drivers in front of him. Now, obviously Canada is a hard track on tires, so perhaps those drivers on the softest, ultra soft car tire might start to struggle a bit too much, as Jan Wozniacka is looking to make a move coming into the hairpin. Doesn't do it just yet, but has made Jackson Wendt take the defensive line, loses him a bit of top speed coming out of that corner, and surely Wozniacka is going to be able to make the move here down the back straight, the Casino straight, alongside him coming into the last chicane. Nice defending there from Jackson Wendt, keeps him away, as Schulze there almost loses the car coming out of the Wall of Champions. Here we go, Jackson Wendt. Is he able to fend off?
Oh! That is a nice move from Jan on the outside of turn number 1, inside of turn number 2. And he managed to get past Jackson Wendt. That was a really, really nice move there by Jan Wozniacka. He's obviously fired up for this one. Now he's up into P number 3. Remember, he started at P number 8 on those harder compound tyres. And so far they are working wonders for him, because he should be able to go slightly longer into the race as well. Maybe help his strategy out later on in the race.
Yeah, amazing start of the race for Jan Wozniacka. Schulze is now also starting to look at the rear view, or look at the rear wing of Jackson Wendt. Michael Wilson behind that. Callum Roberts and Tom Lambert's also very close to each other. This basically, this whole top 8 is within a couple of seconds. Only 4 seconds between P1 and P8, so even after 6 laps of racing, these cars are not separating by a lot, as we saw there Tom Lambert's trying to get past Callum Roberts. And Schulze is now side by side with Jackson Wendt coming into turn 1. And Jackson Wendt starting to lose places here. Also his teammate Michael Wilson right behind him.
So it seems like the Ghostby cars don't quite have the race pace of the others around them. A couple of guys have sort of overtaken them now and pulling away, so hopefully they can sort of pick that up as the race progresses. But they've now got Tom Lambert's behind as he overtook Callum Roberts, as you said. But behind them is a little bit of a gap forming to Vladislav Pavlov, who obviously doesn't have the pace he had last time out, but he's certainly dropped off a couple of seconds down in P number 9. However, points go down to P15 in the Academy Championship. So he's still getting a nice haul of points there in P9 at the moment, but the race winner from last time out will certainly be looking to improve as we go on for another 35 laps.
Yeah, down in that last points-paying positions, Yedi Sirvatsky was looking to make a move on P16. Jan Kumar wasn't able to make a move, stick coming into the hairpin there. Now he himself has to watch out for an overtake from the car behind him, which is Marko Ferlic, but manages to keep the position there.
Well, has Michael Wilson made a mistake? He's now down in P7. He's been overtaken by Tom Lambert's, and he's now a few seconds behind. With Callum Roberts now actually having a look down into this chicane. I didn't think we'd be seeing many overtakes here, but he's going to be on the inside. He's going to make that move, stick actually, into the chicane under the bridge, which I think is T8 and 9. And is he now going to be overtaken by Pavlov as well? Yeah, Michael Wilson is going to be overtaken by, or at least they're going to be going side by side into this hairpin, and Pavlov's actually going to back out to try and get the slipstream. But don't know if you can try and get a replay, Felix, because Michael Wilson has definitely lost time on this lap. It looks like he's going to be losing this position to Pavlov now as we come down this back straight. Yes, he does. He gets the move done.
Now I'm going to try and see if I can...
Wilson pits. Wilson pits. So maybe he had a little half spin or something like that because his tyres were done.
Yeah, I'm going to try and see what happened. Not sure if I'll be able to, but let's see. Here Michael Wilson still in front of the royal blue cars. See what happened. Maybe just a simple overtake, yeah. One car got past, then the exit of him got a bit squirmy and wasn't able to defend the position from that on.
Back to the front. We now got Jan Woska is attacking Thomas Vack for P number 2. Oh god, he's right on his bumper. Well, his rear wing even, they don't have bumpers as we come down onto this back straight. And I think Jan Woska might even think about having a look, because it seems like he's got a bit better top speed, but he's going to have to wait on this straight. He's a little bit too far behind. But are the others going to pit? No, not just yet. Seems like Michael Wilson did make an early pit stop. And Jan will have to settle down and wait for another opportunity. Behind, we've got Jackson Went now coming back at Zoltsuks, but can't make it work down into turn number 1. So where did Michael Wilson come out? Oh, God, he's down in P26, but he's on those soft compound tyres. And because they only pit after 9 laps, they obviously didn't get a big gap to the cars behind. We'll have to see how that works out for him later on in the race.
Now Jan Wozniak, Thomas Wack starting to put the pressure on Klaus Rietveld. Wozniak looking to make a move somewhere. I think Thomas Wack is playing it smart together with Rietveld to keep the DRS. And that way they are able to defend from Jan Wozniak quite well. And Wozniak opens the DRS as well, but obviously doesn't really have the top speed with the DRS as well for Thomas Wack and Klaus Rietveld.
Oh, couple of pitters. Who's that? We've got Jackson Went and Zoltsuks. And Pavlov got past his teammate Callum Roberts as well. But let's see what tyres Went and Sooks go on to. Went goes on to the soft compound tyres. Sooks goes on to soft compound tyres as well. So with, 31 laps to go. They might try and get another set of the ultra soft tyres at the end. That should be pretty doable. So it looks like 2-stop strategy is the way to go at this track today.
Let's see if Jan Wozniak agrees with that.
Oh yeah, starting on those super soft compound tyres. If he can stretch them out and then just go to the softs, maybe that could work. It is certainly a possibility. Because this is a shorter track, you have to do more laps. But the way rFactor is with the tyres, it isn't quite like that. Generally, you have to make more pit stops when it is a shorter track. That's just the way it goes, because there are obviously more corners generally per kilometre. And with that DRS from Thomas Vack, Jan cannot quite get close enough to really make an overtake. We're talking about overtakes on the back straight from P10 downwards. There's this whole gaggle of cars that have a really nice battle, slipstream battle here down into turn number 1. We got Naranjan Kumar, P2 last time out, down P12 today. He's in the NRWO Motorsports car with the TCS off guys there. The last few points, these guys obviously starting the race on the harder or the middle compound tyres, because when you're outside the top 10 you have free choice. So you might as well start on those harder tyres, try and be quick at the end. And for teams low down the Constructors' Championship, every point counts. So they'll be scrapping hard to the end of the race with this.
Now Jan Wozniak, I think he's a bit closer this time. Taking a look again, but not able to make that move. The ICMRS guys doing a great job. Teamwork to make sure Jan Wozniak doesn't get past them. But surely they have to pit relatively soon as well, as Wozniak tries to go around the outside of turn 2. That's a bold move, but doesn't make it work. But he's definitely showing that his tires are quite a bit fresher, or at least still has more pace than the ultra softs of Thomas Waak and Cas Rietveld. He has to make sure he doesn't get stuck behind these guys for too long. He wants to make some sort of strategy work here.
Oh, who's in the wall? One of the... Is that Naran and Kumar? Naran and Kumar is in the wall. Oh, God, there's a whole gang of cars here coming down into turn 6. And God, never... Oh, Tom Lombart's going for the move as well. And Naranyan spinning there, coming onto this back straight. I think he's got damage. He went into turn 4 on the exit of turn 4. And now he's trying to be overtaken by the 2 F1 Champs cars. And they have both done. I think Naranyan's going to have to retire from this race because you can't repair suspension damage. But that is not good for him because that was a decent looking race from him on those soft compound tyres, but it's obviously not going to work out. And Callum Roberts pits, and Ernest Lappins actually caught up and overtook Callum Roberts. Ernest hasn't pit already. That could work out quite well for him if he's already caught up to drivers on those soft compound tyres. Let's see. Oh, Jackson went P13, trying to go around the outside of turn number 2, can't make it work. Let's see what tyres Callum Roberts put on. He put on the super soft compound. He's gone from the ultra soft to the super soft. He might try do maybe a double super soft to the end of this race. We've got 28 laps to go, so 2 more 14 lap stints, and he already did 13 on the ultra soft, so that could work, or he might even try to do the ultra soft at the end. But he's down in P18 because of the shortness of the track.
Oh, I don't think Waak has the DRS open for this lap. Woznica. Oh, what happened there? Waak spun around into the pit lane. I don't think there was contact with Woznica. Rietveld, perhaps. Woznica has got him past Rietveld anyway. Gonna have to see what happened there on the replay. A very interesting event. It's very weird. Not sure what exactly happened here. Let's see if I can find a replay. Because...
And in the meantime, the other third ICMRS car was coming out the pit lane and got caught with Jan a little bit and ended up in the wall. I think that was Milan Rajkovic. But Jan Woznica is now your race leader, having started from P8.
Thomas Waak just braked too late. Went into the back of Cas Rietveld, who then got overtaken by Jan Woznica, obviously. And then on the exit, I think there was an incident with Jan Woznica a bit. And another ICMRS guy. Ooh, yeah. Maybe a bit of contact even there as well. So, a bit of a hectic pit stop action here in this race.
And Rietveld comes in this time as well. So I think they were just... I think Waak was just planning to come in and slightly misjudged it. Although he's got a really long pit stop here, actually. That was a really long pit stop for Cas Rietveld. So maybe he either had a bit of front wing damage they wanted to repair, or he didn't press his pit request early enough, because that will add on a couple of seconds as well. But he's going to be miles ahead of Thomas Waak because Cas is now coming to turn number 2. And Thomas Waak, where is he? He's now not even in turn number 1 yet. So, and he's actually behind Callum Roberts as well. So Callum Roberts has gained a position there because of Thomas Waak losing a few seconds. Oh, someone went in the wall. Oh, that's Thomas Waak. Thomas Waak went in the wall. He is going to be out this race. He's lost both his wings. He is going to need to retire that car. That looked like a weird accident because I heard a crash sound before he actually crashed. So I'm not quite sure what happened then. Let's see if you can get a replay on that one, Felix.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a look. Here we go. This is already a bit too far back. See if we can scroll it back a bit. Here we go. Go on board. Ran a bit wide into the wall. Yeah, hit the wall first on the outside of turn 4 and tried to drive further and realized he didn't have any wings left. So end of the race there for Thomas Wark after a unfortunate event, a chain of events even. As he was looking very strong in P2. Maybe even a podium in there for him today, but right now the end of his race, as I think Jan Woznica has...
Oh, someone else in the wall, Balaz Galar, and is Jan, I think Jan was, no, not, I wasn't Jan Woznica, it was Tom Lombards I think got caught up with that. Balaz Galar is out of this race, very quickly into the wall there. I think he spun his wheels on the exit of turn number 4. So a couple of DNFs in the last couple of laps here, unfortunately for them. And Jackson Went, I think, has actually just got past Adam Rainey. And this is actually... Well, Jackson Went's already made his pit stop, hasn't he? So this is actually... so Casper Reveld actually lost quite a bit of time. Oh yeah, because he had this long pit stop, I forgot. So that is why Cas Reveld is behind Jackson Went, and Cas now gets past Adam Rainey as well. So Cas Reveld has actually lost the net lead of this race as well, because now Jackson Went is in that position. Because we need to see what Jan Woznica does. Because if he is on that one-stop strategy, then he is technically ahead as well, with one stop left to make. There's quite a lot to happen in the last couple of laps, but right now it is Ernest Lappens who is leading this race for the Drillers Motorsports car, followed by Jakub Karsovic in P number 2 for the Grand Effect SimRacing team. However, these two drivers have not stopped yet. They're on the soft compound tyres, which is the hardest tyre.
We will battle for P8. Schulze around the outside of the TCS of racing car of Adam Rainey. Nice move there by Schulze, now looking to make his way to Tom Lambert. Cas Rietveld is also struggling with Jackson Went.
Yeah, with Jackson doesn't have the DRS obviously because he's the car ahead, so this could be quite an easy move for Cas if he can get a decent exit. But it looks like he's going to be a little bit too far away for a nice easy move down turn 1, so he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. So what is the drivers ahead, or what are the drivers ahead going to do?
Yeah, obviously the drivers haven't pitted yet. Ernest Lappins, Jakub Karkaszewski. You'll have to pit.
We're already on lap 19, so we're already halfway into this race. So I think they are going to be trying a one, or at least Jan is going to be trying a one-stop strategy. And even if you pit now for the ultra soft tyres, wouldn't make sense doing too short a stint. So I think, yeah, the cars who are at the moment on the podium positions, I think they're going to be trying a one-stop strategy. And they're going to need to...
Jan has to stop again.
Yes, but so does everyone else.
No, but Jan has stopped already, yeah?
No?
Yeah, he did.
Not Woznica.
He did. He was leading the race. Now he's P3. He has 6 seconds left to Rietveld, but he has stopped, yeah. He stopped for another set of supers.
I completely missed him going in the pit. My memory. So now we've got Cas Reveld coming down into turn number 1. Again, this time he's going to try to go around the outside of turn number 1, but can't quite make it move. Oh, sorry, make the move stick. And Jackson's defending quite hard here, so hopefully he's not ruining his tyres by doing so. And they lost a lot of time, didn't they? Wow.
Yeah.
So that's really given Jan a massive advantage.
Definitely. Yep.
Considering he was quicker than them when they had a step softer, and now he's on the same tyres but they're 2 steps harder, so he should be a lot quicker than them in this stint.
Now Rietveld surely this time around will be able to make the move, and Jackson Went down the casino straight. Doesn't open a DRS. That's interesting. I guess he decided...
Oh, he's got DRS now, and there's only one detection zone. I remember rightly, for these 2 straights.
Yeah, the section zone for that one is right before the hairpin.
Yeah, so if he had DRS for the main straight, he should have had it for the back straight as well. So
Yeah.
maybe he's just starting to stay behind a little bit, save a bit of fuel, because fuel is also. Oh god, who went in the wall back then? Was that Zolt Sooks? Yeah, Zolt Sooks went in the wall, turn number 4 in the background, and he's going to have a bit of suspension damage from that. Let's see what he's like on this back straight.
It seems okay.
It seems okay. Maybe it was just a bit of lag that made it look worse, but he did hit the wall on my screen down in turn number 4. Yeah, back about the fuel. The fuel's a little bit tight, not too bad, a little bit tight. So if he can save anything in the slipstream, then that will benefit him later on in the race.
Now let's see. Surely he's close enough now. Only, what is it, 2/10 away. Open up the DRS. Yeah, easy move there for Rietveld. Coming into the final chicane. Keeping it out of the World of Champions, and right behind them, Tom Lambert's starting to close in a little bit on the softer compound of tires, the super softs of course. And as Lapin's just got overtaken, by the way, by Jan Bosnica, so Lapin's still the one that has to pit. He hasn't pitted yet on those soft tires. Perhaps he's also on a one-stop if he does decide to go for a set of super softs. It's now 20 laps.
To be honest, it could work for him. He has 8 seconds to burn, because obviously cars behind need to make pit stop as well. So if they've all got one stop to go, this is his track position. So he has 8 seconds to burn before Rietveld catches up to him. And he probably needs to stay out for another 5 laps, maybe 3, maybe 4, something in that range. So if he cannot lose 2 seconds a lap, considering he's on the same compound, that might be doable. Then this could be potential podium for Ernest Lappens, which would be an awesome result considering he started outside of the top 10.
Yep. Now Callum Roberts behind Zotsooks on the softer compound. Not really able to close in, but obviously these guys' tires are also 9 laps old, so not very easy to make an overtake then on the guy in front of you with the harder compound, as his tires will be getting a bit better at the end of those stints. Soeps in his turn is trying to make the move on Tom Lamberts here. I think he's a bit too far back. But this is a nice battle here for P6, P5 of the race.
Robert's having a look down into the hairpin, but he slightly misjudged the braking zone and actually hit Tom Lamberts there on the apex of the hairpin, and actually that might have slowed down Tom a little bit. So Zooks, who had a clean exit, is actually going to be making a move here up into P6 on the inside Tom Lamberts, but Tom Lamberts comes into the pit lane. So not much of an actual hard-fought battle there.
Long pit stop there for Tom Lamberts. Maybe forgot to request his pit stop, and because of that, a bit of a longer stop. Let's see where he comes out. P15. Probably going to be in front of... yeah. P15 for him.
Okay, so you know I said that Ernest Lappens needs to be not 2 seconds a lap slower. He is currently 2 seconds a lap slower, so this could get a little bit tasty. As who is that ahead? Oh, so there's a couple of back markers ahead having a battle. But yeah, if he wants to make this work, he should pit as soon as Cass catches him. He should go as long as he can. That is to obviously help him have better, because he could pit now, but then he would have to stretch the tires, the super soft tires, a little bit further to the end of the race. So if he can wait until the exact lap that Cass catches him, he can pit, get a bit of an undercut, and hopefully be ahead with some decent tyres to the end. So he's still got another lap or so before that that comes into play.
Yeah, I think Jan Bosnica definitely looking the strongest for the win here at this point in time, as he's probably going to be able to do a ultra soft last stint. Now, and as a lap hints, to be honest, I think he might be able to challenge Cas Rietveld for a podium position, Jackson Wendt for the podium position. If he's actually able to do the one stop, if he stops in like 2-3 laps, might be able to put it off. It's difficult to then also keep Cas Rietveld and Jackson Wendt behind. He needs to have the pace for that, but it's definitely possible, I think.
I think he should pit this lap or next lap. If he goes one more lap, Cass will be right on the back of him. So I think we're going to start lap 26 now. So that'll be lap 27, so it'll be that 15 laps to go. So that'll be plenty. Plenty of options. Unless he might, is he pushing it for the ultra softs? I don't think he needs to go to the ultra softs at the end. I think super softs will be good for him. So I think he should pit this lap to make his strategy work. Otherwise, if he gets overtaken by Cass and Jackson, then that's just going to slow him down even more. So he needs to take the initiative, I think.
So it's a bit of a waiting game now. Who's gonna be the first one to take that second pit stop? Or first pit stop for Ernest Lapins in that matter. Let's see what he's gonna do.
Yeah, if he does another lap, they're going to be looking to overtake, because they might even get DRS, or not quite DRS this time around even. My guess is he's going to make a pit stop. Let's see what he does.
Schulze is making the move on Edward Batala. Bit of contact there, Schulze and Edward Batala. Batala spins around. And that is a...
He's just reversed into someone. Unfortunately, I think that's Yuri Siravatsky. That's not the best rejoin. Unfortunately, not what we'd like to see. People reversing back into others on track. Now we've got Cas Rietveld on his back straight. He's now into the DRS of Ernest Lapins. Lapins needs to think about making a pit stop this time to avoid losing time. Oh, Jackson Wendt goes deep. So he's lost a bit of time there, but Cas Rietveld is still going to be right in. In fact, he might even try and move into the hairpin. And yes, he's going to look that he's got the car down the inside, and he's made that move stick. And he will have DRS as well, because the detection zone is before the kink, before the hairpin.
Yep.
They'll have DRS here as well. So Ernest really should hit this time round, because he's already lost a little bit of time. Yeah, and yes, he probably should have done that one lap earlier, because he's lost another second or so, but at least he'll have one lap fresher tyres.
Didn't lose that much, to be honest. Probably a bit in the hairpin, a couple of tenths, but that's about it. And the same goes for Rietveld, of course. He also lost time. So I think he made the right decision here to stop right at the point where he's getting past. Because he held them up quite a bit as well in the space of doing that. Now super soft for him to the end of the race. 15 laps remaining, so that's surely is doable for him. And like I said, maybe able to challenge Cas Rietveld and Jackson Wendt for the podium here. If they stop again, then also Ernest Lapins is going to have a bit of a undercut compared to them, as he has the free air in front of him as well.
Yeah, so this is actually looking quite nice for Ernest, as you say, on super soft tyres. But we need to see now what Cass and Jackson do. Considering how far they went on the ultra softs at the beginning, I assume they're going to pit for the ultra soft tyres. So any sort of overcut Ernest can get is going to be good for them. And I heard someone... Did I just hear someone go into the wall?
Maybe.
Oh yes, Zolt Sooks. Zolt is without a front wing. Although I can't seem to see on the
He has front wing on me.
system an incident, but he has definitely not got a wing for me. Has he got a wing for you?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
Disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is not good for him because he was up into what, P6 I think at one moment, and he's now going to be losing time making this extra pit stop.
Yep, indeed. Now let's see, it's the waiting game. Carlos Rietveld, Jackson Wendt, Jan Bosnica. Who is going to pit first? 14 laps remaining. Surely Bosnica is going to try and go for the Ultrasoft, as we are looking at David from F1 Champs Racing and Indirect Remates having a bit of a battle coming into turn number 6. 8-9 here. David goes a bit wide there. Now has to watch out for Callum Roberts behind him as well. He is looking hungry. Coming into the hairpin. Will have the DRS side by side. Better exit for Callum Roberts there. And surely that's going to mean that he's going to make the move. It's going to be a battle for top speed. And who gets the slipstream from Indirect Remates in front of him? I think, yeah, David gets the slipstream there from Indirect. And that gives him the top speed as Indirect goes into the pit lane there for his final stop. Now Callum Roberts will have the DRS coming down the back straight. But isn't able to get close enough to make the move into turn 1. Nice little battle here for P5 on the grid, P7 I should say.
Oh, so Jackson made a pit stop and is on the super soft tyres as well. And he's only just behind Ernest Lappin, so Lappin didn't get much of an undercut. So now we need to see what Cas Rietveld can do. I assume Cas going to stay out for the ultra soft tyres with there only being 12 laps left. So that's a weird one by Jackson actually. He's gone to super softs, but anyway, we'll see how that works out. He can obviously lean on them a lot more. And Cas still goes. Do you think Cas can make it to the end of the race? What lap did he pit on? He pit lap 15, was it?
Yeah. 15.
So considering
25 might be possible.
Yeah, considering how far Ernest did.
Yeah, could be possible. The gap to him and Ernest Lappins is 31. No, 15 seconds.
Oh, who's that making a spin? Who was that? Oh, it was Furlick, Marco Furlick. Exit turn 4. That's quite a lot of people today, hasn't it? There's been about 4 or 5 guys crash or spin on the exit turn 4. It is quite a difficult corner because you sort of come over a crest on the apex and you go down, sort of compress it a little bit, but he is unfortunately lapped down. Yep. Who is that now? That's his teammate, Jakub Karsovic on the exit turn 4 as well. So in the space of about 30 seconds, 2 teammates have crashed in the exact same corner, and their third teammate, Noah Rivers, has now been hassled by Jan Kaluza and Roberts coming down into the hairpin for P number 6, or P number 5 even. Come down into the hairpin. Is that Roberts going to have a look on the inside? A tiny bit of contact being made, but he's going to make that move. Oh no, he can't. He's going to have to pull back into the slipstream. They'll all have DRS though coming down into this final corner. Obviously over the last major points that there are, and they're just going to keep on going for another lap in the same order that they are, but this is a brilliant fight now down for P5. Jackson's actually looking at Ernest Lappins right now, so I think Ernest might not quite have the speed that he needs. However, he's certainly in a good position so far, at least to get P4, which would still be a wonderful result from his grid position. Going to double check the grid. Where did he start? Yeah, he did start P12. That would be an awesome result for him to make up those spaces.
He might have some fire left in him to keep Jackson Wendt behind him. And when we'll get the DRS here, of course.
Has Adam Rainey hit the wall as well? Adam Rainey just hit the wall on the exit turn 4. I think he did because Tom Lombards has got past him. Oh no, or is he already crabbing? Replay's lagging a little bit.
Kamada making the move on David of F1 Champs Racing around the outside into the last chicane. Ooh, David decided to go into the pit lane as he was still side by side with Mike Almeida. Turned out well, but pretty close there. Now Ernest Lappins got indeed passed by Jackson Wendt. I think they still are gaining, obviously they are gaining to Cas Rietveld. Are they though? Cas Rietveld last lap, 13.6. Jackson Wendt, 13.6. Lappins, 13.8. So he's actually not losing a lot of time or any time to Jackson Wendt and Ernest Lappins. So Cas Rietveld might be able to go to the end of this race on this set of tires. If he does that, surely we'll get that P2. Obviously, Jan Bosnica are very, very dominant with this strategy. And the pace he had on those super soft tires. And leading the race now by 11 seconds.
Yeah, after the race a couple of weeks ago in Baku, Jan spoke to me and he said that his aim was to win at least one race this season. And with 7.5 laps to go, he's leading by 11.5 seconds. So it's certainly looking very good for him so far, although he needs to make another pit stop, which means he's going to have to be very quick to catch up Cas Rietveld if Cas stays out. As the lap's gone, it looks like Rietveld is staying out, so Jan is going to have to be very quick. Yes, he comes in this lap, so this is going to be for the ultra soft tyres, because he's already used 2 sets of the super soft. Got that first pit box, so there he is, and here is Cas coming through the final chicane in the background. So let's see what the gap is. So he's going to have to absolutely charge, but he's got 2 steps off the tyres. Going to be a light car, so he's going to be able to do almost quali laps.
About 9 seconds between him and Rietveld. 9 laps or 8 laps remaining, so he gets about second a lap. It's actually a bit less, it's about 7 seconds. So if he gets a second a lap, I think he might be able to pull it off, but it's a difficult one. He needs to be careful to not put it in the wall as well, of course. But his tires are very quick and he can push them to the limit.
I'm sure Jan is going to be absolutely trying for this. 7 seconds should be doable in terms of raw pace. But that obviously means he can't make any mistakes, he can't lock up and ruin his tyres. He just needs to go and put in the laps.
Only in the second sector he already gained 0.7 to Cas Rietveld.
Purple in the middle sector.
Purple.
This is going to be an interesting race to watch. You've got basically the whole of the back straight catch up, but that is certainly his task. And talk about purple, Jan Kaluza made that pit stop, also went purple in the first sector. So the track's obviously gripped up, cars are nice and light, making final pit stops. Unfortunately there is no point for fastest lap like was introduced in F1 this year, but is certainly something good to look at on the time screen. So that is another car there. Who's that? Was that Adam?
Second quicker in sector 1.
Yeah, I think that was Adam Rainey as well, DNFing. But unfortunately another DNF today.
Yeah, Rietveld really starting to struggle. His last lap was a 1:14.2 as well. Almost 6 tenths slower than his lap before that. So either he's really slowing down a bit to save fuel, maybe. I don't know. But Bosnica is closing in rapidly. 4 seconds between them right now. Still 7 laps remaining. You can already see him, I think, down the back straight here.
Yeah, hopefully this back marker doesn't get in the way. Didn't hold up Cas. Jan will serve another lap or so till he catches him up. And what can he do for his lap time? He didn't go quicker in the second or third sector, but he was 1.4 seconds quicker on that lap. He did a 13.8, only a couple of tenths off the fastest lap by David Jan Kaluza. because he obviously wants to push a lot, but even in 8 laps you can destroy your tyres with the ultra softs if you do push too hard or over the limit, let's say. So let's see what he can do on those tyres. And let's not forget about the battle for P3 as well, because Ernest Lappin seems to have caught back up to Jackson, and he's now in the DRS after dropping back a little bit. He's going to be looking to overtake as well as we come into the final stages of the race. There's going to be 5 laps to go at the end of this race, the end of this lap.
Yeah, maybe Jackson went pushed his tires a bit too much at the start of a stint, and Lappins just saved them a bit more, and now at the end of this stint is able to push them for a bit more as he opens the DRS down the back straight. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to make a move here on Jackson Vent around the outside coming into the final chicane. Not able to make it stick, doesn't really have the top speed there. Out of the last corner with the DRS open, perhaps a move into turn 1. He's a bit too far back for that as well. But you can see that he's sticking with him pretty well, and he keeps up this pace, might be able to make the move back to P3 in a few laps.
Yeah, Ernest got a purple final sector as well last time round, obviously with the DRS and slipstream that helped. But he's obviously still got a bit of pace in that car. And Jan is now just under 3 seconds, 1 second quicker last time out as well. However, I think Ernest Lappins might be making a move before that. You have to remember, this is Ernest's first season. He's a rookie. And he's still quite young. Still early in his teenage years. He's got plenty of time to develop as the seasons go on. And he's got purple in the middle sector this time round as well. But he didn't get the best exit out of the hairpin. He's going to be a little bit further away than last time. Not going to be able to make a move, but he gets almost 3:35 coming into this final chicane. So I see that will be an overtaking position for him in the next couple of laps. Just needs to work on getting the exit out of that hairpin.
Now Woznica has Rietveld well inside. 1.8 seconds between them now. Last lap was almost 1.2 seconds quicker than Cas Rietveld. I don't think Rietveld has much to defend here from Jan Woznica, unless he's been saving a lot of fuel to be able to defend from him in the last couple of laps. With 4 laps remaining, he's not going to be able to hold that off.
Jan's has gone purple, sector 1, sector 2. Again, he is really pushing. And is he in the DRS zone? Let's have a look. No, not quite, because the DRS detection is a little bit early. But as we come onto the back straight between turn 6 or 7 and 8 even, he will have DRS there. This is going to be a couple of lap shootout for these drivers. Does he go purple again? Yes, he does. A 12.0. So another 4 tenths.
Yeah.
Also, Cass is going about a second a lap quicker than he was 4 or 5 laps ago. So he was obviously just sort of conserving his tyres to an extent, to a point where he still had something to fight with. And I really hope Jan uses his head. He's still got 2 laps and a bit. That's 10 DRS zones, I think. And he's going to be looking around the outside, coming into turn number 8. Oh, that's going to be really tight if he can make it work, but he goes off the track. He's going to have to let that one go. And really, he probably should have waited to a hairpin anyway. But he's still in contention for a move into the final chicane. So he just needs to focus on getting that apex, which he does, and getting on the power, which he does. And he's very close to this. Should be an overtake for Jan Woznica. Coming down into the final chicane. So this is for the lead of the race. Alternate strategies from both of these drivers today, but they have come to a head on almost the final lap of the race. But yes, Jan gets the lead, and let's see what he can do with 2 laps to go. Does Cass have anything left to offer? Yeah, Jan was another 1.3 seconds quicker that time round, including overtaking and going off at the chicane and losing some time, so he's certainly got the quicker package. That is Jan leading this race after all the pit stops have happened. And this would be his first win in FSR if it comes true.
Yeah, Jackson Wendt got held up a little bit there by a back marker. Not too much, but might have given Ernest Lappens just a little bit of an edge. Only 2 laps remaining, of course, 1.5 right now. Lappens needs to make the move on to P3 if he wants to keep it. Now, who has managed to... Oh, a bit of a lag back there from Jackson Wendt. Dropped back. This might give Ernest Lappens the opportunity. I think he's had a bit of a bad exit there out of the hairpin and has given Jackson Wendt the advantage there. But last lap is going right now, so if Lappens wants to get on the podium here for the first time, he needs to make a move right here, right now, or at least in this lap.
Yeah, we also had another couple of DNFs on that last lap. Callum Roberts and I think Noah Rivers as well getting some damage. So hopefully leaders don't get caught up in any damage. Although I think they have all been cleared by now as well. So the focus is on Ernest Lappens. Can he get this overtake? He's still got 2 DRS zones. Got one on the short back straight and then one on the longer back straight into the final chicane. He will have DRS. He's close enough, but he just needs to set this up. He needs to make sure he gets his apexes in the chicane, get a nice exit down to the hairpin to get nice and close. Oh, he will spin a little bit in between the corners. They lost a bit of momentum. He'll get slipstream down into the hairpin, and this is his final chance. He needs to make it work. Unfortunately, yeah, but unfortunately we also need to look at Jan Wozzeko, who's coming around the final corner to take his first win in Formula Sim Racing after a nice strategy today. He's going to take the win away from Kars Rietveld. But what can Ernest Lappens do? He goes to the inside on the final straight. There's going to be some contact and Ernest Lappens goes round. Ernest Lappens goes round, so that's not going to be a position for him. But I wonder if that will end up in the steward's room. Ernest went down the inside. I think there was a little bit of contact, a couple of 100 meters to go. And then Jackson turned in quite aggressively and keeps his P number 3, so I do wonder if that's going to end up in the steward's room. However, Mike Almeida gets an awesome P5 for Breslin, followed by Tom Lombards. But Tom Lombards in P6 is actually quite a way behind his teammate winning the race, but not quite the race Tom wanted. Over the final chicane. Oh, big jump over the final chicane to finish P number 6. And then Zolt Sooks, who still gets P7 with that extra pit stop after losing his front wing. And then his teammate Indrek Remits in P number 8. Angel Beneas in P number 9, which I think is F1 Champ's best position since 2017. Then we have Yuri Siravatsky and Anton Skirchenko finishing on the lead lap. And then we have Noah Rivers, Vlad Tokarev, Andrei Bortovsky, Milan Rajkovic and Marko Ferlek finishing the drivers who finished the race. And the other 14 drivers unfortunately DNF'd. But here we got Jan Wozzeko doing some donuts at the hairpin.
Let's see if I can find the replay of what happened to Ernest Lappens. Came out of the last corner. We missed his bit a little bit. Then coming into the final corner, decides to go for the inside. A bit of contact made there already. And then it's a difficult corner to go side by side into. Almost never ends well for one of the two drivers at least. And there you could see that Ernest Lappens couldn't make the move stick and spun it around. Slightly nudged the wall of champions there. But managed to get to the finish line at least, which is always good, of course.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens with that after the race. But that was still a good performance from Ernest, I have to say. Starting from P number 12. And where is he in Championship? He is P12 in Championship at the moment. Best result P6 last time. So that will be in P4 for him this time. So he's certainly working his way up the order. And that looks like Kars Rietveld as well is going to be extending his championship lead because Jan is down in P number 5 in the championship. Despite winning the race today, he came P2 in Australia and then P15 and 13 in China and Azerbaijan. So Kas will probably extend his championship lead on Vladislav Pavlov as well. But we will have to update you with that in the next race.
Yeah, so a great bit of racing again here in the Academy Championship. And I think we've had it for basically all the 4 races right now, that there's pretty much 3 different strategies on the podium. Woznica with the 2-stop, but started on the super soft, went to the super soft and then to the ultras. Rietveld started on the ultras and 1-stopped for a set of soft tires after that. And then Jackson who went for a 2-stop, but started on the ultras, went to the softs and then ended the race on the super soft. So great to see 3 different strategies again competing for a win here. And Jan Woznica coming up on top. Amazing race from him as he started down in P7, P8, I believe. So great drive by him, definitely.
And in 2 weeks' time, we have the French Grand Prix from Circuit Paul Ricard. That with another track with quite a few straights, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of action there as well. And as I said, that's in 2 weeks on the 2nd of June. Same time, same place. But for later today, we still got the Pro Championship coming up in about 1 hour's time. And then at 1700 GMT, we've got the drivers go out for the World Championship, Premier Class here for 70 laps. So I think that is it here from the Academy Championship, and we look forward to seeing you later on in the other 2 broadcasts. Anything you'd like to say, Felix?
No, I think it pretty much sums it up. Make sure to tune in for that World Championship race, of course, main event of the day. Will give us a lot of action, obviously. Drivers that have practiced for 2 weeks' time will be showing their skills at the top level of sim racing here in rFactor 2. So make sure to tune in for that. And obviously the pro race in about 1 hour, 45 minutes time will be starting their qualifying lap. So make sure you tune in for that. I think that's about it for us here. Just want to thank everybody that viewed, all the viewers, all the drivers, of course, that gave us the action today. Cameron to the commentary, and everybody else behind the scenes. And I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. So we will see you later on for the Pro Championship. Thank you for watching.
Hey man, I got that new 10Max Thrustmaster wheel. It's going down.
Xbox One?
I can't wait to play when I get home.
Yo, let me play.
Yeah, I play first. Yeah.
You know, I'll race you for it.
So I have